the truth to tell when you come back?
Can you promise that I will come back?
No. And if you do, you will not be the same.
Welcome back to the Shire, my fellow hobbits. I'm your host of Epic Proportions, Alex Dotson. And on this week's episode of From the Cinema, we will be figuring out why The Hobbit even exists. Saddle up, because one does not simply walk into Mordor. Now, everyone is aware of one of the biggest and best film trilogies of all time, J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings. Naturally, Warner Brothers Studios would want to milk this cash cow for all it's worth by bringing the prequel novel, The Hobbit, to the big screen as well. Unfortunately, somewhere along the line, they screwed up. This epic failure wasn't from lack of trying. Getting the same creative minds behind the original trilogy, such as director and co-writer Peter Jackson, and the extremely talented Sir Ian McKellen to reprise his role as the second coolest wizard in pop culture, Gandalf the Grey, were necessary to keep the fanboys, myself included, happy and content during the build-up to the release. They even went above and beyond by having Guillermo del Toro contribute to the script and having the brilliant Martin Freeman play the halfling hero Bilbo Baggins. Things were looking good. Then the trailer came out, and anticipation peaked. Fast forward a couple months to December 14th. I caught The Hobbit on opening day. That's when everything changed. At an annoyingly long 2 hours and 40 minutes, I left the theater thoroughly displeased and even a little peeved. The Hobbit was a decent movie, but compared to the Lord of the Rings trilogy, it was almost offensive to compare the two. The movie had 2 prologues, which put the film on uneven footing from the start, and it spent the first 45 minutes in Bilbo's house. Things were not off to a good start. People cite the studio's decision to split a 310-page book into 3 feature-length films. I was skeptical at first, but alleviated by the knowledge that the writers would incorporate story content from Tolkien's anthology series. So far, my worries have come true. The plot seems overly stretched, and I don't see why this movie had to be so long. Plot problems aside, Martin Freeman's performance was very entertaining, much more so than Elijah Wood's turn as Frodo in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. The action scenes are top-notch, with great visual effects, and some of the wide environment shots were truly breathtaking. But pretty pictures and a good performance can't carry this big of a movie on its back for long. McKellen seemed too old to be playing a younger Gandalf. The spunky twinkle in his eyes that we first saw in The Fellowship of the Ring is not evident in The Hobbit. Overall, this film runs like a roller coaster ride. There are plenty of ups, but the downs seem to drag on and on. And after 2 hours in, it starts to get hard to ignore the cramping of your butt or your bursting bladder when what's on screen can't keep your attention. Now, in defense of the trilogy as a whole, I'm still very excited for the next 2 installments. Hopefully this is just a slight misstep in an otherwise promising companion trilogy. Do I recommend that all of you go out this weekend to the Johnson Center and catch The Hobbit? Ultimately, yeah, you should go. You're bound to have a good time, but don't expect to have a great time. Be sure to check out the Office of Student Involvement's website, Twitter feed, and Facebook page for more information on future screenings at the JC Cinema. Upcoming features include Django Unchained, Wreck-It Ralph, Silver Linings Playbook, and Warm Bodies. Until next time, my fans, have a great night.
My name is Bilbo Baggins.
Bagginses. What is a Bagginses, precious?
I'm a hobbit from the Shire.
Oh, we like goblinses, batses, and fishes, but we hasn't tried hobbitses before. Is it soft? Is it juicy?
No, keep